This is Pep O'Clock. I am Perpetua Fasanmi-Peter. Today on Pep O'Clock, I'll be talking about how businesses can survive COVID-19 lockdown. But before then, I got a lot of feedback from our previous episode where I was talking about productivity tips for remote workers and a lot of concerns, really varied concerns. But I'll just be sharing some of them with you here and now. But then in our next episode, on the next episode, I'll be addressing these challenges and these concerns. Now, I got a report or I got feedback from people who are married and they have children at home. And so they are saying that when you have very young children at home, it could be very difficult for you to work from home because at one point or the other, they need your attention. And even when you grant them that time, few minutes later they're back again, and that's a concern that some of them have raised. And some other persons are talking about how that electricity is an issue and even getting petrol is also an issue, so they've been finding it very difficult working from home. I got other concerns, like I said, but I'll be addressing them on the next episode. But for today, we are focusing on how businesses can survive the lockdown. We know why this is happening. It's because of the coronavirus, and a lot of companies, industries are affected by this. I mean, countries are affected. So many things are affected. I am also affected. I'm having to do this from home. You are also having to probably watch from home. And so that tells us that we are all in this together. And I think that's something to make us feel like, okay, I'm not alone, so I've got other people. We can encourage one another, That's okay. And that's exactly why I'm also here to encourage you, to tell you that there are some things you need to consider. And if you can consider them, then your business will be able to pull through. Now, the first thing you want to consider is safety. Whether or not you're going to continue running that business at this point in time, you want to be sure that everyone is safe. You want to be sure you're safe. You want to be sure your family members are safe. You want to be sure your staff are safe. You also want to be very, very sure that your customers are safe. And so you need to put measures in place to ensure the safety of these set of people. Because if they are not safe, then I wonder what's happening. So safety is very important. Put measures in place, whether you're going to be meeting your customers, your clients, your staff, whether you people are going to be meeting physically or not. You want to ensure that people are safe. Mitigate risk as much as possible. Now, after you have considered safety, the next thing you want to do, this is number one, really. I can almost say this one is number one. Be informed. You need to know what's going on. It's a novel virus. That means it's new. This strain of coronavirus is new. We haven't seen anything like it before. And so research is ongoing. There are so many policies that are being churned out every now and then. WHO is saying something pertaining to research. We have the CDC in America also saying something. All of these things are geared towards people understanding the virus better and acting better. And so you want to be informed. You want to know whether or not, okay, everybody has to be wearing masks. I remember before now, the issue of wearing masks wasn't so much of an issue. So many people felt, well, if you're not an essential staff, if you're not a health provider, if you're not attending to someone who is sick, you shouldn't be wearing a mask. But that's changing. I mean, we're even having a law now in Southwest that's going to enable almost everyone who is stepping out of his or her house to wear a mask. So you need to be informed so that you will act accordingly. Also, you want to know what government is saying per time. Some palliatives, maybe in your industry, some palliatives are being put in place, some measures are put in place to cushion the effect of this on your business. You need to be aware of that also, so you can act accordingly. So be informed, know what to do the right thing. Now that you are informed and you've also taking steps to ensure the safety of your business, the people around you, the next thing you want to do now is to ask yourself, how do we go about this business? You want to re-strategize. Are people going to work from home? Are people going to have to come to work? If we are putting social distancing, which I prefer to call physical distancing, into perspective, can people really come to work? Can this space really help us achieve physical distancing? If it cannot, maybe we need to re-strategize and say, you know what, work from home while A comes to work, and probably you have to always switch. And then when you are telling these people to come to work, you also want to be sure that they are also safe. you've put in measures to ensure their safety. Maybe you even want to decontaminate or do certain things. All of these things are geared towards safety, because safety is number one. It's very important. I really don't want anybody to joke with safety. So no matter what your strategy is, safety has to be the core of it. Safety has to be the underlying factor of whatever strategy you choose at the end of the day. So what are we going to do? Do we need people to live in? Some companies are doing that already, like this one I'm showing you right now. So what do we need? What are we doing? These are some of the questions you need to ask yourself, and then at the end of the day, you've re-strategized. Maybe you need to redeploy some persons from one department to another department just to keep the work going. And then you're also asking yourself, can we render all our services at this time? Or are there other services we need to focus on? Or, mask production, for example, if you're into the fashion and all of that, mask production, is this something I should give attention to? Oh, okay, should I start online trainings? Should I become a facilitator? Whatever it is, children are at home. And so you want to strategize. If my business does not allow for all of this to happen, if my business isn't something very essential, I mean, at this point in time, people are not going to be thinking of buying certain things. It's luxury at this point. People want to be sure they save up. People want to be sure what they have saved will be enough for them throughout this period, and they want to survive. So truth is certain things may not be on people's agenda right now. And so you want to ask yourself, is there something else I can do? Children at home. Can I come up with something for children? That's on re-strategizing and even redeploying, having to probably say, you work from here, you work from there. That's okay. Another thing after re-strategizing is to move online. This is what I mean by moving online. You need to move your communication online. You need to take your communication seriously. You need to take advertisement seriously. At this point, you need I wanted to say your employers. You need your clients, your customers to know what you are doing. You've re-strategized, so you have a new strategy, and you need to communicate this strategy to them, so they will know how to contact you. I remember recently, I was telling my husband, I'm tired of eating in-house. I feel like tasting something. And then it occurred to me that, there is a particular brand, a particular restaurant I like patronizing. It occurred to me that I haven't even received a mail from them. I haven't gotten a message from them. I was telling my husband, are these people still in business? Are they doing something? Because I know other brands that keep sending me messages. I'm sure you're seeing one here now. They keep sending messages. You go on social media, you're trying to be on Instagram or anywhere, you see their sponsored ads. And somehow they have a way of making you feel like, these people are available. Okay, I can patronize them. Or even on WhatsApp, you see some person telling you, we're going to be delivering to you, no touch delivery, and then they make you understand certain things that they are putting in place to ensure that they can come across, you can get your products or your service, and at the same time, they are putting safety precautions in place. And so somehow you want to patronize them. So this is the same thing you should also do. Go online, do the ads, the SEO, just to let people know you are still in town. Let them know you're ready to serve them. And when I was talking about re-strategizing, if you're going to start, maybe you don't want people to come and eat in again if it's a restaurant, what you want to start doing from now is people maybe take out and delivery. You want people to know that this is what you're doing. You probably want to employ riders, or dispatch riders, or you just want to find a way around it. So that tells you that even employment is ongoing right now. I saw one ad a few days ago talking about something in that regard. So yes, people can still thrive even irrespective of the lockdown. So I was talking about communication. Take your communication seriously. Let us know, bombard us, send us messages. I want to be on Instagram and see, okay, so I can get this, interesting. And then I'll order. Now, apart from that, that's communication. It's very important. Another thing is team communication. This is the time to forget about, let me not say forget about. This is the time to not even think about business travels. I don't even think anyone is thinking about them. And if you're really so used to having meetings, I work in a place, I used to work in places, I've worked in places where we've had to meet weekly and all of that. If you are so used to it, this is not the time to start to think it's a problem. Because you can do all of these things online, whether you want it visual or you just want, or anyhow you want it audio, you want it video or you just want chats and all of that, you can have all your meetings online. Move your communication online. If you didn't have all this in place before, you can start it. Slack is a good example. My company where I work, we use Slack, and it's perfect. Trello is another example. That's if you're not considering videos and all of that. Trello is another example. If you're considering video, Zoom is there. If you're considering, even Microsoft Teams, all these things are there. Create new channels, create new workspaces, create new groups on all these things, and have your communication going perfectly. That's also very important. So team communication is something that I find very, very, very important in this place. And another thing I'll say to you is this: keep reinventing and re-strategizing. Keep reinventing and re-strategizing. Remember, the second point I made is the fact that you have to be informed. And so as things are changing, as policies are changing, as government is introducing new things, you are also working. You're thinking, okay, so what is the next line of action? What is the next thing to do? How do I cope? How do I survive? Truth is, I really don't want you to be comfortable in one place because things are changing. So as the times are changing, you should also change. Keep reinventing, keep strategizing. It's very important. And finally, this part I want to talk about, it's not something we have in Nigeria yet, but it's something I hope that with this video and some other videos and your voice, we'll be able to begin to do these things. I totally understand the government is trying its best to give us some palliatives and all of that. Beautiful. But then if this were in some other climes, there's something employers are doing for their employees. In some cases, they are doing what I call guarantee, or what is called guarantee payment. Guarantee payments, that's very simple. Maybe whether or not the person is working, as long as that person is not in a situation where he or she cannot work, that person is ready to work, but unfortunately no work is coming. So that person gets a guarantee payment. Or in some other climes, some employers are also filing unemployment benefits for their staff. That's beautiful. We don't have that happening in Nigeria yet. But it's my plea that with time, we'll get there in Nigeria where we'll be able to, or when we will be able to make things easier for our staff whenever we find ourselves in this situation, in this condition. Thank you so much for listening to me this beautiful day on Purple Clock. I hope I've been able to help you. I hope I've been able to inspire you to do something. Like I said, keep thinking, keep reinventing. And of course, I'd like to have your feedback. What do you think? What are you thinking? What are you doing? How are you coping? How is your business coping? All these things I want on the comment section. Tell me all of these things and I'll be glad to address all of them. Thank you for watching. I am Perpetua Fasanmi-Peter, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Come on. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and tell all the people you know about Perpetua Fasanmi-Peter on YouTube. It's amazing, seriously. You can tell them about me. Thank you. Have a great day.